Understand that this video series has been conducted inside the yellow H2's engine bay. Today I'm working on my 06 H2 SUT. It's the same engine, the LS 6.0 V8. Therefore, the same principles apply. In this video, I'm going to be discussing with you all the parts that I recommend that you order so that when you guys get to this step, you can do it one time. You can go in here, pull everything out, put it all back together, and you're not like me and have to go in this engine, take everything apart twice. We also are going to be briefly discussing everything we've accomplished so far in the engine bay. So let's begin. This section over here, it's all good. Everything from my right foot over, just forget about it. You guys are all set. Everything over here, all right, this is your transmission dipstick, oil dipstick, these hoses, everything from here on over, you guys are all set. Just forget this whole section exists. I know this can be overwhelming. There's a lot going on. Just stick with me. We're going to talk about the parts right now. In regards to getting this cover off, there's one bolt and then there's 3 bolts for a second cover. Just take those off. In my next video, I'm going to be discussing taking, this engine apart. Trust me, it's not as bad as it looks. Just stick with me, guys. I know it can be intimidating. I've been in your shoes. Okay, 8 spark plugs. This is a V8. You're going to need 8 spark plugs. You are going to need a special socket for those spark plugs. You're going to need a special tool for the actual boot of the spark plugs to grab and pull the boot off. All right, we're going to need a few new gaskets. These are valve cover gaskets. You can see they're blue. They come in as a set. So there's, one. We're going to need this gasket right here, throttle body gasket. That's 2. Throttle body intake gasket. There's one that's going to go here, and here it comes in a set. That's 3. The OEM gasket, it doesn't seal properly, so you're actually losing out on a lot of horsepower. So it's going to give you more power in your H2. It's going to run better. We are also going to need a valley cover gasket right here. It's a big, long, square one. We're going to replace that. That is known to leak over time. So that is a good preventative measure. We are going to order 2 PCV valves. This hose right here, you can see it's brand new. This is good. What happens over time is that this rubber gets old, doesn't hold up as well as the OEM. We're going to replace this part. There's another PCV valve right here, runs from right here all the way back here. You can see it right here where my finger is. All right, comes back. We are going to order next. We need a special fuel line disconnect tool. That's to take off your fuel line. We are going to need a oil pressure unit. We're going to replace that. That's in the back right corner. You need a special socket for the oil pressure sensor unit. Again, I'll have links to everything below. We are also going to order a new valve cover. You can see how that's nice and clean and shiny. GM came out. The original design is a bad design. The oil doesn't flow correctly or that well. The new design, it flows better. However, you have to drill some holes. I know what you're thinking, what? It's not that bad. I used a 3/8 drill bit. Drill about a dozen holes. There's a good video online, and that's going to increase the oil flow. I actually took this one off as well. I drilled holes on this side to increase the flow of oil. The passenger side, you don't need to really get a new head. The old one's fine. It's just getting the oil to flow better. Right here, these bolts that hold there's 4 of these going across. You can see it's got that little tip sticking out. There's an O-ring around that. When it comes to those, we definitely want to replace those on this side as preventative maintenance. What will happen over time is that oil will look like a coffee stain, like dripping downwards from those holes. That's the O-ring leaking. So we're going to get those replaced. What else do I have for you guys? We're in good shape. Regards to knock sensors, we're not going to be replacing those, guys. Just trust me. There's some guys out there who are like, oh, change it for preventative maintenance. Let me tell you guys, there's bad batches, there's bad parts. I know those knock sensors, when you get down in here, there's 2 of them, one in the front, one in the back. You're thinking, oh, well, dude, I'm in here, I should replace them. Just trust me. If they're working, just keep them in there. Just take my word for it. I've talked about that before. We're going to leave those alone. Okay, what else? Parts. Okay, fuel injectors. You can go out and buy a new set of injectors. That's one option. The second option is to send your injectors out to someone to be cleaned. Probably costs you a couple $100. What I recommend is go out and buy a fuel injector machine. It's a couple $100. Just do it yourself. Fuel injectors don't really go bad. You've got 8 fuel injectors, on this rail. They don't go bad. They just get dirty over time. You can clean the injectors yourself. That's what I did on this H2. I cleaned them myself. On the yellow H2, I bought new injectors. If you buy a new set of injectors, it's going to be like $600. You buy the tool, it's going to be like $400. You're going to have it for life. With that being said, if you send your fuel injectors out, your H2 is going to be down for a couple weeks because you don't have injectors. For me, you know what? If you go out and you buy a new set of injectors, don't buy them on eBay. There's tons of fakes out there. I would not even buy a set of refurbished injectors because I'm worried about those could be fakes. So I would either buy the tool, do it yourself, or buy the tool, do it yourself, or buy a new set. You buy a new set, it's gonna be like $600. So it's kind of like one of those things where you're gonna have to make that decision on your own. I talked about the fuel. I think I talked about that, the fuel disconnect line tool. Okay, what else do I have for you guys? You're gonna need we got all the gaskets covered. O-rings. Okay, fuel injector O-rings. If you do decide to keep your fuel injectors that you have on here, I'd recommend buying a set of fuel injector O-rings. They're good to have on hand. You may run into a situation in the future where the fuel injector O-ring fails, causes an air leak. It's going to cause a misfire. So it's good to have a set of them on hand. It's like $20 for a bag. It's good preventative maintenance to have on hand when you're checking your fuel injectors. If you look at one, you're like, man, these things are super square. They're not really round anymore. Go ahead, change those O-rings out. I think when I did mine, I actually left them all on. I think there was only 1 or maybe 2 that I actually changed out. They all look good, therefore I kept them on. Okay, we're in good shape. Okay, if you guys may need a drill, so that's something to keep in mind. What else do I have for you guys? I want to make sure I cover everything. This hose right here, when you take this piece off, let me show you guys when you're taking this off. This line goes down, this line right here. All right, this line, this is normally the hardest part. I've taken off this part, I've taken off that part before. When it comes to getting this off, you can see the other side is still connected. I recommend like a pair of long needle nose pliers. You can see how these ones actually have a little bend to it. It's a long tool. You can go in there and pry that off to get this piece to come off. Something else, if it is summertime, what I recommend is that this will be built up with carbon. What also is good to do is you take this intake off and you put it in a big tub with like Royal Purple or whatever, a good cleaning detergent, and run like a pair of vent cleaners through this, and there's a lot of carbon buildup. So we want to get that carbon out of this while we have this disassembled. Time to do all this, I would say, if you're on top of things, you had all the right tools, parts, you watch this video, I'd recommend watching this video twice, take notes, double check that you've ordered everything correctly. If you know somebody who's worked on these types of engines, get a second opinion. They'll say, oh yeah, that's really good. That's good advice to follow. They may have another tool or part maybe they recommend. Some of you guys might be thinking, well, what about coil packs? We're going to come back to those later. These are coil packs right here. They typically don't go bad. Normally they maybe one fails every 100K. So we'll talk about that in the future. My goal for you guys is to get this H2. Everything I just mentioned are the main parts that are going to need to be taken apart. In regards to this, again, some of you guys might want to take this off. Some of you guys might want to take it off from here. I've run into the issue where this actually needs to be pulled back a little bit. So you guys have all the parts. You've got all the tools. Let's go ahead and actually there's one tool I forgot. You're going to need a 22 millimeter socket for the knock sensors when you take those off, and a torque wrench to torque those down to spec. So we've got all the tools necessary. We're ready to go in. We're going to kick some butt. Let's go for it.